I am back again with another video. So, first things first, I look like absolute crap. Let me explain that in a bit. So, I'm gonna go for a walk in like half an hour. But I wasn't sure I was gonna go for a walk, so I took a shower before. And my hair is like in that point where it's dry down here, but still super wet up here. That's why it looks very bad. Plus I have no makeup whatsoever, which of course makes me look even more beautiful. Yeah, nope. I already received 2 letters. Well, basically they're from the same person, but it's 2 letters for the giveaway. Of course, I have not yet opened them. They are sealed. But I'm very tempted of opening them, and I'm kind of excited because this one is like bigger and feels just a little bit thicker, so but anyways, you guys are still in time to enter if you guys haven't, and if you guys don't know what the hell I'm talking about, just go into my channel, look for the giveaway video, and watch it, and you'll know. Anyhow, now let's start with the video. By the way, if there's a lot of movement, is because I'm recording on my bed because I was on my bed, so I said might as well. If you guys saw my second to last video, I talked about an update for this channel. I already have how the schedule is gonna go basically. So Mondays, which is today, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to move that much so it doesn't move. My neighbors got motorcycles. It's all the time like that. Anyhow. So, Mondays are going to be paranormal stories. So, if you guys have any suggestions for paranormal stories, you guys want to submit any of your personal stories or just any others that you think are very interesting to talk about and stuff like that, let me know. Or if you guys want to hear more about my own stories, then yeah. But I'm going to try to make the stories as one single story because usually when I've done paranormal stories or scary stories, whatever, I tend to make a kind of like compilation kind of thing of several little things. But I can still do that, though I do want to try a little bit like to make one single one basically, if that makes sense. So for Tuesdays, it is going to be a reviewing products thing. Yeah. So it could be stuff that you guys are going to send me, or stuff that I have that I can review for you guys that are probably like, that me myself was a little bit doubtful before buying, you know, kind of like that. So yeah, trying. Wednesdays would be story times. If you guys want to know something in particular or something, or just me feeling comfortable talking to you guys about something. So yeah. Thursdays will be live streaming. I'm going to try to do once a week live streaming. The reason it's going to be on Thursdays is because when I start school, my end of the week, I guess, when my weekend starts will be on Thursdays, because I'm just going to go to school from Monday to Thursdays, so I can stay up late. And then on Fridays, it's going to be a video in Spanish or a video with my brother. I'm saying or because sometimes in the videos I do speak some English with my brother. So it could end up being an English video, most likely Spanish or partially in Spanish. But Fridays are going to be videos with my brother. And then last but not least, Saturdays will be vlogs. I am trying to incorporate a little bit of vlogging. Last Saturday, I did add like a storytime vlog. Mostly it was just a like storytime kind of thing. Because I couldn't vlog the whole time, but I did get a little bit on Snapchat, so that's kind of, but it will be more just vlogging. Like, I don't know if you guys saw a video I posted not that long ago. It was me going to Ensenada and vlogging the whole thing. Kind of like that. Because Saturdays is when we usually go out or do some stuff. So that's why. And then Sunday is obviously the day I don't post because it's relaxing day. But if I don't end up posting on Saturday, I do post on Sundays. I'm trying to post at least 6 times a week. So anyways, now that I've made this so long, now let's go to the actual video. Because now you guys know how the schedule is going to go. So yeah, let's start. Even though I already said that like multiple times. Let's start. But now, let's start. And my dogs are barking, so yeah, let's go to the part of the video where they're not barking or they're not barking as much. So I've mentioned that one of my biggest fears is the dark. I've always been afraid of the dark, and a little like to explain to you guys what I mean by that is that if they're, I don't know, and my room ends up being pitch black, doors closed as usual, I start feeling a little bit anxious. I start hyperventilating a bit. If I can't see, I start feeling shivers, and I just want to cover myself, but at the same time I can't because I'm feeling that if I cover myself, something under the cover is going to come and drag me. And as soon as I get a light, regardless if it's my phone or the computer or something, I start pointing at every single corner and space where anything could be. And then as soon as I can, I start looking all over, running towards the door, running out, and hiding to my parents' room. Even though I am going to be 19, I have this fear since I was little. It's much worse than it sounds. Again, than barking. It's much, much worse than it sounds, but it's as best, I guess, as I can explain it. So, my mom and I were talking about that the other day, that I have no idea why I'm afraid of the dark. And she pretty much explained to me that when I was little, and we used to live in another house, I'm sorry, they're barking so loud. I did make a story, or it's kind of like a story time, paranormal story, whatever, of what used to happen in an old house I lived. So, my mom said that I used to not want to sleep in that room. I would spend all day in that room, yeah, but I wouldn't go to sleep there. It was terrifying. I would cry the whole night, and it was like, no. My mom said it got to a point where she had to take a little bed and put it in her room so I could sleep there because I just couldn't sleep in my room. I honestly don't remember at all anything of sleeping in that room. Nothing. Sorry, just that my brother's like gonna go out, so my dogs are barking. I have my window closed, by the way, so they're barking loud. Anyhow, going back to the story. So my mom says I probably blocked out the bad memories of that because she says that I would always like talk about this best friend I had, which was an imaginary friend. Then again, if you guys want to believe it's true or not that my imaginary friend was a spirit, that's on you guys. I don't really remember much, but just for what they tell me. So, my mom told us a long time ago that a man was killed there, and I think I talked about that in my paranormal video. He was killed and all. So, my mom says that probably, because I started asking her, but if she was a ghost, who was she the ghost of, or like how did she appear there, like was the kid killed or whatnot. So my mom started telling me that there are like stories or whatnot that say that spirits tend to manifest themselves in front of the person as someone who the person would be comfortable with. So me as a 3-year-old, 4-year-old wouldn't be comfortable seeing a grown ass man in my bedroom, right? So my mom thinks that probably the little girl I saw was actually the spirit of the man manifesting himself as a little girl. My mom says that when I was little, she said that I was crying. Like I was baby, like I was still in my crib and all. I was baby, and I was crying that night. And they went to my room and I wasn't in my crib. Of course, they were like, where is she crying from? And I used to have this like little house thing that had a slide, and she said I was under the slide. Like someone put me down there. So I was too little to walk. Like I was a baby, and somehow I ended up down there. So that was pretty creepy, obviously. When my aunt told me, I'm like, what the hell? But she said a lot of things like that would happen. I was so terrified of being in my room alone. Like, I could be there a whole day. I didn't care being the whole day playing in my room. But as soon as the night came, I could not at all. I do remember, like, you know when you're trying to remember stuff and there's, like, certain, like, images that pop into your head that you can remember perfectly? So that's all I can remember. Like, I can remember perfectly sitting on my mom's bed at night, looking a bit, like, leaning like this to look through their door and seeing my room pitch black. And that's all I remember, like, going back into my parents' bed. That was one of the few times I slept in their bed. And just being all freaked out. My mom says that when I was asleep in her room, in the little bed she made me, I would have to be holding her hand to fall asleep. I could not go to sleep without holding her hand. So she would put her hand down and I would be holding it and fall asleep like that. And she also says that there was a time where they left me sleeping in my room alone. I still had my crib, but I could probably walk or crawl already. And she said that I was crying so much at night that they wouldn't take me out, that I ended up falling asleep holding the bars of the crib. Like, that's how I fell asleep, with my hands like that and just holding it. And obviously, you know, my parents decided to not let me sleep in that room anymore because of how bad it got. My mom does say that when I got older, and when I say older, it's probably when I was like 5, around that, I did end up starting to sleep in my room. I don't know why. I do know for a fact, during that time, I did not have my imaginary friend anymore. I don't know if you guys remember me telling this or if I even told this, but if not, I said some things that weren't, like, very child friendly, I guess. Not child friendly, but not something a kid would say, you know, or that would think about. But I said that Andrea, my imaginary friend, said it to me. So my mom obviously wasn't comfortable with that, and she told me, you know what, you have to tell Andrea to go, and blah, 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 and, you know, all that, for me to say goodbye to my friend or whatnot. So that's what I ended up doing. Obviously, I said goodbye to my friend, according to what my parents say, and they decided to take off the wall that supposedly the man was killed on, and as soon as that was done, she said that everything calmed down. And then, you know, it was during that time that I started sleeping in my room again. So, yeah. The thing is, going back to me being afraid of the dark and not being like that, my mom says that she's thinking that I'm so traumatized through whatever happened in that room, that I just still kind of have that fear. Because I cannot remember at all what happened. Like, I can't remember anything. I don't remember ever sleeping in my room, not even as when I was older at all. I remember sleeping in that room. Well, I do remember once, I did have a sleep paralysis moment. I was little. And it's just something that it was the first and only time I've ever had a sleep paralysis. And I'm like, every time, like, I feel like I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night or something, I'm like, please don't have sleep paralysis. Please don't. Please don't. Because it was a horrible moment. But I don't think that's what triggers my fear of the dark. Because my mom says I've had it since even before, you know, when I was very little. But obviously could contribute to it. The thing behind the sleep paralysis thing, well, for me personally, it wasn't like people explaining, you know, that you see someone or a shadow or something. I couldn't see anything. The only thing I remember is laying in bed. I'm sorry, I'm not looking directly to a camera. I have to, like, visualize it, yeah, in my head, and I'm just looking at the blank wall too, yeah. But yeah, I was, like, laying in bed, and I remember it was already when I was having my bed without the cribs and all, my normal big girl bed. And I'm laying there, and I remember waking up a little bit, like just like, you know, in those moments where you're kind of waking up. And then I remember that I couldn't move. But I did experience that other times where I couldn't move, but it was only for a few seconds, and then I moved. I don't know why. Have you guys ever heard, if you guys know Spanish, que se te subió el muerto? It's a saying where it's kind of like sleep paralysis. And I've experienced a lot que se me subió el muerto, where you feel like a big pressure on you. You can't breathe and you can't move for a few seconds. And you pray, or it helps for me, I pray, and that's it. And I find it like very different, the sleep paralysis and that one. Even though people like to associate as the same thing, I personally think it's different. Because for me, when I had that sleep paralysis, and for what I've heard from other people, it seems like an eternity when you're having it. When se me subió el muerto, that one was just seconds. It was scary and all, but don't think I could move my head. I remember I could move my head, but nothing came out. You know, I couldn't talk. So I remember laying with my hands, like, not still, but they were like straight across. I don't know if they were like this or what, but they were down. And then with my neighbors, with my hands being all like this on me, I decided to kind of like imagine like they were together, like if they were like this, which didn't happen. I couldn't move them, but like to imagine they were like this, and started praying, you know, a bit until I could finally feel I could breathe. You know, like it was like something was on me, something really heavy, and that was that I've experienced several times. With the sleep paralysis, I couldn't move, I couldn't talk. I don't know if you guys have had any dreams where you want to scream in your dream and you want to say something, but you can't. Like, I don't know if that's, I know a lot of people have had the dream where you're either doing something and you want to say, you want to scream something and nothing comes out. You're screaming as loud as you possibly can and nothing comes out you. Or if it does, it's very, very, very low. It was kind of like that, but nothing came out. I remember trying my best. Like, it even hurt my throat. I remember being little and I couldn't move. And I was like, wanting. And then I could just move my eyes from side to side like this. And I could just a little bit see. It was completely dark, but I could like sense, you know, where something. But I couldn't actually see anything, you know? Like they say, you see a shadow, you see a woman, you see a man. Something, no, it was just the sense like someone is watching you. And obviously I was petrified. I was like, what the hell? This is like vivid in my head, okay? And I remember just praying because I had experienced it before. I don't remember other past experiences before that of se me subió el muerto. But I do remember that in that moment I was thinking, okay, pray, you know? Regardless of how much I was trying to pray, which I didn't know much prayers. I just knew El Padre Nuestro, which I don't know how to say in Spanish, in English. But yeah, I just knew like one or two things. I just knew very, very little back then. I was 5, and I was just trying to say, but nothing would happen. I remember it was so terrifying, and I could hear like a buzzing noise. I don't know, it was like when there's like static on the TV kind of thing, just very like if it was inside my head, you know? Not like if I was hearing it out here, like if it was in my head, basically. I remember like I felt like it was like the whole night, but then I finally reacted, slowly could move my body, because I've heard that other people just jolt up, like they move, but for me it was just like feeling little by little movement on my fingers and on my hands and my arms and my legs, and then I finally got to be able to get up, and I was crying and I didn't know. I decided to like walk or tried not walk. I feel like I think I walked, but obviously I probably ran into my parents' room, but they were asleep. And I didn't want to wake them up because I was that much of a good girl and was afraid they were going to get mad at me if I woke them up. Yeah, past experiences of me waking them up. But I remember I couldn't go back to my room. I remember going into my mom's room and just laying on the side of her bed. No covers, no sheets, no pillow, no nothing, and just laying there. Just like that. Then in the morning, I was terrified of going back to my room, but I don't know how I ended up sleeping back in there, but I did, and never again happened to me. But tomorrow, I said, was going to be reviewing stuff, and I'm gonna have to check what I'm gonna review, but I'll let you guys know. So, and this is probably like so old to review, but yeah, I'm gonna be reviewing this thing. So be expecting that for tomorrow. I haven't used it in a while. It's pretty new, I guess. I've used it like 2-3 times, but yeah, I'll give you guys my review all about it. I'll show you guys how it works if you guys still don't know how it works, how much it costs, everything. So I bought it last year, so yeah. So yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And don't forget, tomorrow check in for this, because this is going to be much more interesting than this video. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions for future paranormal videos for Mondays or for any other videos of the week, just let me know down below, and I'll try to do them. Again, if you guys want to, for reviews, you guys feel like you guys want to send me something for me to review and to let others know, then yeah, do so, because that would be great. But if you guys don't, you guys don't have to. And for paranormal stories, just let me know if you guys wanted me to read one of your guys's. If it's one of your guys's, DM me the story on Instagram. It's down below my Instagram. So, you know, it's more like a surprise for whoever is going to be watching the video. Don't see it in the previous comment because, you know, it ruins a little bit of surprise. Or if you guys want me to talk about a story or creepypasta from online or whatever, just let me know the name or whatever, and I'll look it up and tell you guys about it. Or more about me. Doesn't have to be precise about me. My dad has experienced a lot of stuff, and I can tell you guys a bunch of stories from my dad. And yeah. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope this wasn't as bad as I'm thinking right now it was, but I had to post today, so yeah. Anyhow, guys, now I'm gonna go for a walk because my mom called me in already. Bye!